Okay, Kahala, La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles of GMS that rule well, and salutations unto the brothers and sisters that take heed. All right, this is a lesson stemming from a video from Vice. It's called Trump Wants to Beef Up the Military, but Recruiters Are Having Trouble Finding People. All right, I'm going to play the video quickly and then get into some scriptures. And this is really just showing you that um, how they do this every so often, man, with false flags, because for the what was it, World War II, um when you had Pearl Harbor happen, which is documented as a false flag, you had enlistment numbers go up. Same thing with 9/11, and many other false flag operations where they have to um, rise up the people and stir passions and make Americans proud and all this shit and angry and play on people's emotions. It's a thing that the elites do, something called ordo ab chaos, which is order from chaos, or order through chaos, right? So they bring the chaos, you know, and it's also another thing called the problem reaction solution. All right, which they bring you the problem, they get a reaction from the people, and they give you the solution. It's just a thing that's played out in society, because they have society running, right? The elites have society running in a certain way, and you can't break up too many wheels turning and the machine is spinning. So they even have to play within the rules they set up, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna play the video and then interject.
The President of the United States. Detail. Fallout.
The years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan have come with a human cost beyond the thousands of deaths and injuries. Repeated, grueling deployments of American troops. And that's made recruiting new personnel even harder. But now, President Trump wants a bigger army. He's ordered the largest single-year increase in recruitment targets in the history of the armed services.
You see that? Why do you think that's happening, man? Because things, things are moving, man. Prophecies are kicking off. The Most High is gonna kick things up to the point where prophecies are gonna unfold every day, man. But Trump is the guy, man. The apostles, starting with Apostle Elder Tahar on down, they've been telling you Trump is the guy, man. Trump is the guy to make these big moves and kick it off. And as you see, why the hell does he want more recruits? Why does he want a bigger army, man? Because he knows in his spirit war is coming, man. He's already set up to start this thing,
The U.S. Army has been told to enlist 80,000 new troops this year, up from 68,000 last year, a challenge that recruiters are going to struggle to meet. In response, they're using new tactics and higher incentives. But they're also trying something else, looser standards.
Good afternoon. My name is Major James Roulette. I'm the commanding officer here at the Louisville Mess. I want to congratulate you for being mentally and physically qualified for military service. Detail, Tan who? Ma'am, gentlemen, raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I.
This is the main military recruitment processing center for the state of Kentucky.
The orders of?
It's processed more than 900 new applicants to the armed forces since the start of the year.
Detail. Fallout.
All of those applicants were signed up by recruiters trained at nearby Fort Knox, the center of the Army's new recruitment push.
The 80,000, that's a historic level for recruitment targets, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have had a mission of this magnitude before, but not when the unemployment has been as low as it is right now.
Major.
This is another thing showing you that America's finished, man. Because if you're lowering your standards for your military, that means what kind of military, man, are you having? You're picking quantity over quality, that means, as you're gonna see, people with fucking health conditions Even mentally unstable people, they're relaxing the standards on that. So really, you're just falling, man. Like the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, it fell because it was too stretched out. It was too expanded. Okay, it was too far out. Same thing with America, man. When you have all these people enlisting that are not combat ready or fit or whatever the terminology is, you're not fit for duty. Okay, I believe that's the terminology, mentally or physically. Again, you're picking quantity over quality, which will be a great detriment to you. You know, when you're fighting people and nemesis that they're strong, man. They're mentally and physically strong. The people on the other side of the world, they're much stronger than the people in the West. All right, just the mentality, the way they grow up, the conditions, and their condition, the the food that they eat, you know, everything about them, man.
General Snow heads up the Army's recruitment mission.
What do you think the number one question was? Are they going to deploy, right? So when they asked me, I looked them straight in the eyes and I said, ma'am, more than likely, yes. I said,
But he and his recruiters have a tough job ahead of them.
when I told them that, you should see their face.
The strong economy has made the Army's offer of secure employment and nice benefits less attractive. And the pool of young Americans who are even eligible for military service has shrunk dramatically, thanks in large part to the rise in obesity.
That's a very challenging climate.
And you see, man, health problems, physical fitness, which they're relaxing these things, man. They're relaxing these things where if you're a person with a high body fat percentage, right, which is indicative of obesity, right? Like a man is supposed to have his body fat somewhere from normal, around 25% to really actually lower. 25% is already the beginning of obesity, somewhere under 20%. All right, a woman can have a little bit more body fat, because their anatomy is a little different. But men, you're supposed to have under around 20% body fat. But they're gonna enlist people that have fucking 25-30% body fat. So again, you're not mentally fit, you're not physically fit. So you're just literally, these people are being sent over there for their slaughter, man. And it's good. It's a good thing because they're gonna have a draft. This is gonna really stir up another false flag, another 9/11, but greater, man, to stir up people's passions. And then they're just gonna have a draft in general, man. They're gonna draft you people, okay? Because they're gonna need, hey, them bodies gotta hit the floor, right? I'm gonna bring out this scripture. This is Joel 2, and this is where World War III is gonna be, right? This is Joel 2, 2:20. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the East Sea." Which years ago I had my book. One of the brothers has it, but I had this breakdown written down. I haven't gone over in years, but Salakia, for that, I can't give you a definitive answer on the East Sea. The Spirit's telling me either it's the Persian Gulf or I believe it's the Euphrates, because I remember Apostle Tahar went over it years ago. I just forget exactly. But the barren and desolate land, that's basically Saudi Arabia. That's where the major war is going to take place, because that's where all the nations are. Israel, Syria, Iraq, Iran's around there, Ethiopia, they're just across, right? So that barren and desolate land with his face toward the East Sea, which again is either like Euphrates or Persian Gulf going east, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and the utmost sea is the Red Sea, okay, because that's the other side. So that, again, if you look on a map, just type in the map of the Middle East, the utmost sea is the Red Sea, and you go east towards Euphrates, Persian Gulf. The barren, desolate land is Saudi Arabia. That's where World War III will be fought, man. Jordan's over there, Lebanon, all these hotbeds, where turmoil is happening. This is what this video is about. You know, that's why I'm bringing out the videos, because for this, they're gonna need a lot of bodies, man. Okay, they're gonna have a lot of soldiers, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of war. This is gonna be the last war. You know, even Albert Einstein, he said I don't know what kind of weapons will be fought in the Third World War, but the Fourth World War will be fought with sticks and stones. You know, because of the assured destruction. World War II, right? After World War II, it was a whole different thing. You know, they started having the atom bomb, nuclear weapons started to come into place, so they had to create something called mutually assured destruction. I believe it's a mass or mutually assured MAD, right? Mutually assured destruction, MAD. I believe it's a worldwide treaty to where the nations signed it, basically saying that, you know, if we have war, we can't just nuke each other, because if I send nukes to you, you're gonna send nukes in, you know, all the other countries. Everyone's just gonna nuke each other and everything's gonna be destroyed. Well, guess what? That's gonna come. That's gonna happen. That will happen. The Third World War will be the last world war, and then you're gonna have literally everyone bury the hatchet. Okay, that saying actually comes from the scriptures, to bury the hatchet, man. But right now it's a time for war, man. It's a time for war, right? And his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things, man. Because it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be a lot of dead bodies. It tells you that in the book of Ezekiel, they're gonna bury the dead bodies for what, six matter of fact, if I can find it, continual employment. No, that's another one I'm thinking of. Or is it? This is it. I believe this is it. This is Ezekiel 39, verse 12. Actually, we can start up. I'll start at verse 7. So I will make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One in Israel. Right? So this is going to be in the kingdom. You know, because this is going to be a spectacular, epic event, man. It's going to be nostalgic. All these great words that you can think of, it's going to be that times 10, you know? It's going to be literally, you're going to be like in I was gonna say Hollywood movie, which is garbage anyway. It's gonna be like all the Hollywood movies combined. It's gonna be spectacular, man. The Lord's really gonna deck it out, you know. But it says, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore, because why? The new covenant is gonna be with Israel, right? Starting with the elect, which the 2/3 are gonna come back in the kingdom. And they're going to be perfect, okay? Their mind is going to be circumcised, man. Okay, that's why it says in the book of Deuteronomy and in the book of Jeremiah, I believe, circumcise the foreskin of your heart, which is your mind, which we can't do that in this kingdom, in these bodies, man. These bodies are subject to corruptness, man. All right, it says, verse 8, behold, it is come, it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows. Right? Salakia. The bows and the arrows and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest. For they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, said the Lord power, man. Because there's gonna be a lot of weapons, man. It's not just it's not physical weapons, or I mean, it's not physical swords and spears and arrows. It's M16s, AK-47s, landmines, fucking, you know, whatever they have, man. We have to burn it with fire, man. Fire is purity, okay? That's where you get the word purified or pure from. It comes from the Greek pyros, which is the word for fire. Okay, fire will purify the earth, man. All right, we're gonna burn those weapons, and those piece of shit weapons will never be made again. You're not gonna have a Colt 45 or 22 or fucking Glock in the kingdom, man. You're not gonna have those piece of shit weapons, man. You're not gonna have a Kalashnikov or a M16 or you know what I mean? All these stupid ass weapons, man. That's Esau's thing. We're gonna have things on the right hand side. Everything that in this kingdom, we're gonna have it opposite, man. In righteousness, it's just like a mirror, you know. Verse 11, it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel. Gog is Russia. Because them Russians, there's going to be a lot of dead Russians in that land, man. All right? Because hey, there's a lot of Edomites in Russia. You know? All them soldiers, you know? There's a big population. Russia has a big population I should say, they have a large army reserve. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of dead Russian Edomites over there. And some Jakes. That I will give unto Gog a place thereof graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers. There's going to be a smell, man, of corpses. And there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude. And they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. See, that's how powerful the battle is going to be, man. And that's how significant Russia is in World War III. They're going to have their own fucking valley, and it's going to be for memorial, man. Generations of Jakes, they're going to see it. They're going to see their memorial. And they're going to know, okay, that's Hamon-Gog. That was the great that was the place of the great battle, man. And that's where they're buried. You know, just like Esau, he has certain memorials and battles that he has memorials for. We're going to have that, man, in the kingdom. Right? And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. You see that? Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord power. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it after the end of 7 months. 7 months shall they search. And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog. You see, because there's going to be a lot, man. There's going to be, if not, probably hundreds of millions, if not billions, man. Probably billions of people, man. You know? And that was it on that. So back to here.
I mean, given the magnitude of our mission, but a lot of folks want to talk about, well, you know, some of the challenges out there, only 3 in 10 can actually meet the qualifications to actually serve. The challenge we have is really getting the word out to the youth today.
Has it been tough to recruit people, though, given the last almost 2 decades of wars?
Yes. I mean, I will say in that case...
Right, because even a lot of people growing up now, they have social media. They watch so-called conspiracies, and they find out, holy shit, the World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Iraq. Why were all these wars fought? It's all BS. It's all BS. It's all in the interests of the elites. You know? It tells you in the book of Daniel 12, knowledge shall increase and run to and fro. So all this information is out there on the web, especially today. This generation, the millennials, man, you know... It's out there, man. I remember when YouTube wasn't out. I remember when there was no YouTube, and you had maybe Google videos or you had those DVDs and shit, and people used to buy. Even before that, you had books, and you know, not a lot of people read. You know, not how they're supposed to. So the information is out there, man. You can go on Instagram. Any kid, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old. Go on Instagram and go through the timelines and just look at some memes, read some things, and say, holy shit, and then start searching deeper, man. You know?
Research shows that the Army is the toughest to recruit for. And I don't want to make light of that. The reality is our job is to fight and win our nation's wars.
To find the people who will fight those wars, the Army is hiring 1,000 new recruiters. It's increasing recruitment bonuses and pay. Its recruiters have become adept at using and monitoring Instagram and Facebook to do targeted recruitment. And the Army's created a new program for future soldiers to ensure that people who want to enlist have a better chance of meeting the job requirements and making it through basic training.
Are there more recruits that say have further to go before they're service ready?
We definitely look at the whole person concept. We'll look at that individual, assess that individual. If they don't meet the requirement, we'll work with them.
Here on the outskirts of Louisville, future soldiers training takes place once a week. New enlistee Noah Wolf was recruited specifically to work in the Army's cyber unit. Dwayne James is an older recruit. Taylor Greenwell is currently working on losing weight so she can enlist in the coming weeks.
I was actually on Facebook and I was scrolling through my friends and I saw that I friended a couple of recruiters. We scheduled an appointment and from that day on, I've just been contacting him.
Well, what was
Hey, well, that's Eve anyway, you know. But that was it on the video. There's not much. Well, there are some points, but I'm going to get into more scriptures. So let's go into Revelation 16 and 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And this word, man, Esau's just a devil. You know, he likes to sensationalize things to the point where, you know, you have that movie Armageddon, you know, and people start bugging out. They hear the word. I have the word actually, sensationalism, especially in journalism, the use of exciting or shocking stories or language at the expense of accuracy, meaning that it's not accurate. It's inaccurate, but it stirs people's emotions and stirs their passions in order to provoke public interest or excitement. Sensationalism. So they use this word Armageddon. They don't even know what the hell the word means, man. You know, the word Armageddon basically, it's actually a Hebrew word. It's not a Greek word. If you go right now, like I'm in Blue Letter, and let's say let's actually go to it on the phone, so I can show you because I'm on the computer. But we type in Armageddon, right? Armageddon. Go here, and it says the hill or city of Megiddo. Okay, now that's not what it really means. The word Armageddon is a two-part word. Okay, Harma or Har, which is a hill or mountain, right? Gadwan is troops, basically. That's what the word means. Okay, perhaps place of crowds, but basically what it means is mountain of troops. That's what Harmageddon. That's what it means, mountain of troops, because you're gonna have a great battle, and we already went to Joel 3 of where it's gonna take place, right? Verse 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great. Again, this is during the time of World War III. You're going to have that happening. You're going to have America being destroyed, which is that great earthquake. Because it says, such as not since men were upon the earth. So in the book of Isaiah, it tells you that the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, meaning it's going to toss to and fro. It's going to literally shake. Because that's how great that destruction is. Verse 19, and the great city, Babylon, was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. You see that? So that's the Most High's anger. That's his dramatic anger right there, man. That he's gonna show you that anger he's been bestowing, man. He's been holding all that time for the hell that these devils have placed upon our people, man, upon his chosen people. Verse 20, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Hey, you're gonna have islands destroyed completely because that fire, man. That fire, the nuclear fallout, the shaking. You know, it's gonna be terrible, man. Verse 21, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. You see that? And those hailstones, is the missiles. And it says the weight of a talent. Now, if you look up talent, we don't know what it is. A talent, the word talent literally means weight. So we don't know what weight it's referring to, because it said the weight of a talent. If you look it up, which I already did, it says either weight. It tells you a weight of silver was around 100 pounds, and the weight of a gold, of a piece of gold, or the talent of a gold, 1 talent of gold was 200 pounds. So again, but the point being, it's heavy. Okay, and we know the missiles are obviously heavy. So that's the World War III, America being destroyed, man. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. That's where we're coming to, and that's what we got to link up these things that are happening in the news every day, because all these things happening in the news is prophecy, man. Majority things, lucky, not everything, but you got to link up everything that links up with the scriptures, man, and bring it out. Because again, these prophecies are unfolding before our eyes day by day, man. Okay, so with that, I want to say Kahalal, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, for letting me bring this out. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, who I learn the truth from. And salutations unto you brothers and sisters out there to take heed. Until next time, Shalom.